Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin, how are you, buddy?
This is the musical episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm feeling great. The beer is helping.
Yeah, well,
it's numbing my pain.
That's life, right?
That's life.
That's what people say.
Oh, my God.
It is the musical episode.
It is, yes. Yeah,
no
if we
idea
don't
what
burst
we're
into
doing.
song, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we are back. Hello.
Yeah, we hope you guys are doing all right wherever in the world you happen to
Yeah.
be. We wish you a happy Thursday here in Atlanta.
Big love to our listeners in Germany. Big love to our listeners in Australia and England. We see you guys.
If you're a cowboy from Miami, we salute you.
Yes. If you're a Buddhist from Providence or an auto like whatever, a
If you work
union,
at a Pontiac
if you
plant
work
that
for
doesn't exist in Portland.
Yeah, if you work for the non-existent Portland Pontiac plant. Hello to you too.
We are super. We're pleased as punch that you're with us tonight or
If you
today.
can't tell, we're in high spirits.
Yeah, we just found out we're still alive.
What does it mean?
What
does that mean?
I don't know. It's deep though.
But yeah, we're going to talk some more about one of my favorite guilty pleasures from the 80s/90s, Best of the Best.
Right.
Love this movie.
Yeah, as far as movies goes, it's not the best of the best.
but it is a movie.
I will say that I watched it.
Did you think you were going to hate it? Did you read reviews before you watched it?
I did not. I went in 100% blind. The only frame of reference that I had was, as we mentioned in the first episode, that Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai loves this fucking movie,
Yes.
and that you love this fucking movie. And so,
What more do you need to know?
That was my frame of reference. I went in knowing exactly, and I think that that's the thing too, is that if you go in and you have, granted, subjectively loved these kinds of movies for most of your life, when you see a movie like this, you're pretty forgiving.
And even if you've never seen it, did it feel already familiar?
Yeah, totally.
Like it's just like, oh yeah, this follows the same beats of every one of these movies.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about it when we get to the last episode. So whatever I'm alluding to, you'll have to stick around for 3 more weeks to figure out what it is that I'm talking about. But it does. It follows a formula. It's very familiar, and I think that that's one of the reasons why it's like you watch this and you're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to win an Oscar.
No, it's not supposed to.
No, exactly.
It's supposed to be a fun way to spend 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever
exactly.
it is, right? I love it. So,
Yeah. What movie is this again?
It's Best of the
Okay,
Best.
that's right.
I want to say, though, for a second, when I was watching the first episode of Cobra Kai, which I love Karate Kid more than anyone else I know.
Right.
And I was worried that, this show's going to like fuck up my love of this
and
franchise.
probably mess with the legend,
Yeah, it's like anytime they try to it's not always a hit when they try to.
Man, they've done that show right.
Yeah, and when he went home and put on fucking Iron Eagle in the first episode, I lost my shit. I was like, oh, this is made for me. Like, this is made exactly for me.
Yeah.
Me and a friend, we had gone to see, they were doing like a re-release of Karate Kid on the big screen, but you had to sit through like the first couple episodes of Cobra Kai first or
That's
whatever.
worth it, man.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this show is fucking great.
Sounds like a
I
great
love
deal.
this.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. Zabka, that's the role he was born to play. We've talked about it before, but
So good.
It's truly the role he was born to play.
Yeah, watching Johnny Lawrence try to like function in society is amazing to me. But anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
There's we'll turn the clock back to the 80s.
1989.
It was a simpler time.
I feel like all times are complicated. We're just more aware of the complications now. Who gets us caught up as far as the... You want to get us caught up?
Got
what
you, buddy.
happened? Nothing happened in the last...
All, like, literally very little, yeah. We got... Basically, there's, I guess, a karate/taekwondo tournament to happen between Team USA and Team Korea.
What we're made to understand is that it's not the Olympics or a world championship. It's just like an invitational.
Yeah, they say it happens every 3 years later on in the movie, but whatever.
Right.
Actually, it's based on the actor Philip Rhee, who plays the lead in the movie. He represented Team USA against Team Korea, like in the Asia Games in 1980. So it's like sort of that's what gave him the kernel of the idea for this
Great
story.
Idea.
Yeah,
I like
I'm into it. But so yeah, we got an American team and a Korean team. They're going to face each other in a martial arts tournament. So the Koreans are like a well-oiled machine over in Korea. They've got like 150 dudes they could choose from that are all badasses.
Right.
And in America, they're having like an open sort of tryout. So I guess it's an invitational, not an open tryout. But
right.
We meet our 5 guys who go to tryouts. They make the team. There's Sonny Grasso, Virgil Keller, Travis Brickley, who's like a troublemaker cowboy from Miami. We've got Alex Grady.
That's so dumb.
He's like a sort of a 30-something father from Portland with a bad shoulder who has been away from karate for a few years.
He is like the underdog of the underdogs.
Yes.
Right?
And then
he's over the hill.
And then we've got Tommy Lee, who's like the golden god. Like he's clearly awesome. Best guy on the team. He's a sensei. He teaches kids taekwondo. He's going to be like our star of the team, I guess. Mm-hmm. So those are our team. They're selected by Coach Couzo, played by James Earl Jones, Darth Vader himself.
I want to know what you did with the plans you intercepted.
Yes. And that's where we're at. They've just been selected to the team.
Right. So, yeah, after the team selections have been announced, the fighters are all excitedly introducing themselves to each other as they enter a locker room, and they're like media guys snapping pictures. So while the boys are all jawing, Don, the trainer, tries to get everyone's attention, but he's unsuccessful. So Coach Couzo jumps up with his boom and goes, "Howdies!" He tells everyone...
Dude, I see this era James Earl Jones, like, I just expect... I'm going to say it probably 100 times the last 4 episodes we're going to do here, but every time I just want to say, baseball,
Ray. So, yeah, Eddie.
Any given moment, I would expect to hear, baseball.
People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
This almost has to be like the follow-up that he did right after Field of Dreams.
Right after?
Or before.
Jesus.
And when did Field of Dreams come out? To me, it's like 88, right?
That's a great question.
It's 88 or 90. This would have been probably either
around the same time.
Just before or just after.
But yeah, like you were saying, like he is the golden goose. He's the draw, the box office draw in this movie. So he tells everyone that's not on the team to get the fuck out. Couzo is a hard ass, telling them to address him as Coach or Mister, and then he pronounces it Couzo. And it was at this moment that we realized that the decision had been made at some point to accent the final vowel, Couzo.
Couzo.
At least on his part. So Couzo says that starting tomorrow, they are his for the next 3 months, and that apparently means no women, no alcohol, no drugs. You will eat, sleep, and shit competition.
That's no fun.
No, sounds painful. I need a supplement for that. So Couzo says that there are 2 other rules. Number 1, don't be late. Don't ever be late. It shows disrespect to me, to the sport, and to your teammates. 2,
baseball. I just want it. I want it. I need it.
Baseball, Ray. People will most definitely come. No, 2, help me take this mask off.
Simba.
So we expect you to function as a team, he says. I'll say this only once. A team is not a team if you don't give a damn about one another. So he tells them that they are members of the U.S.
To me, as the story plays out, that's like the theme of the movie.
Totally. Definitely.
Okay.
So he tells them that they are members now of the U.S. National Karate Team, that they represent the United States of America, and their only objective is to win. The guys clap.
They're
like
into
Alex and Tommy are like, fuck yeah.
I'm not so sure this hard-nosed approach would go over that well. It's that's like the Cobra Kai philosophy, you know, like Sensei Kreese philosophy. I think like a Miyagi or fucking Shidoshi Tanaka or Zien from like it's more of a spiritually balanced, enlightened person is usually the goal.
These are Americans, Kevin. They only know
victory.
Like, run in there and fuck shit up, take shit that doesn't belong to you at any cost.
Okay.
So he tells them that once they're settled in, Don is gonna come. I love Don's little eyebrow waggle. He's like, hey, like
Don. I love Don.
Don
man.
is a great character. So he tells them Don's gonna take them to town for their last night of freedom before training starts.
If some of you are lucky, you might even get laid.
Yeah, I love that Don's down to clown. So yeah, he says the bus to town leaves at 1900 hours sharp.
How would that have worked? The fucking
I don't know.
Would they have had to fuck like on the premises, fucking Top Gun style?
Yeah.
Like, because they're not like gonna leave.
We're talking about
they're on a shuttle bus or
in
something,
the
right?
Stall, like something like right
on the counter. I don't know. I have this counter in mind.
Right.
That seems very comfortable.
Yeah. So Sonny is confused by the military time. Travis rudely explains it's 7 p.m. Pinhead. I knew that.
I knew that.
Yeah. So in the hallway,
if there was a Stallone in this movie, he would have been Sonny.
Yeah, definitely.
I knew that.
But he wouldn't have been funny.
Let's do it.
I knew
deeper.
That. Dude, yeah. So in the hallway, Jennings is the guy who's on the board. He's heading up the
he's like the board of directors of USA Karate or something.
Yeah, he's the money guy. Jennings tells Couzo that he wants him to meet someone called Wade. It's someone I met last year, he says, on a trip to the Far East. Quite an extraordinary person, really. Trained in all kinds of things. Psychology, sports medicine, kinetics. Has a new book out now on the power of the mind. Something of a sensei, actually, he says. Couzo isn't too keen on bringing in another coach. I don't need any damn sensei.
I feel like that's exactly what's needed.
Yeah, I was like, there's not a lot of that going on here right now, it seems. But Jennings says that, you know, hey, there's a trainer's position open and the board wants Wade to fill it. So the whole the vibe is that Couzo has no choice.
And it's like the mirror scene, I think, from earlier where Couzo wanted Alex Grady on the team and this guy Jennings wasn't so sure.
Right.
Like, I feel like this is, a fair compromise.
Yeah, it's like you got to listen to us if we have to listen to you. So Couzo takes the dossier on Wade and walks away. Cut to student housing. Don's leading the team into the dormitory where they're going to be living during training. He mutters something that sounds like, right this way, boys. and that's where I'm sure that it's a choice and a great one for Don to be like unintelligible.
Yeah, I think this actor is turns in one of the more interesting performances of the film.
But I think it is probably
chain smoking Don.
But it's probably like the impetus for so many performances of a guy, Boonhauer, the dude from Waterboy that you can't understand anytime he talks. Like so many, and that's the same kind of movie as this, where it's like you've got a guy you just can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, Travis, our Miami cowboy, intentionally runs Tommy into the door jamb, which knocks his water bottle into his teeth. He then racistly mocks him with an Asian. So sorry.
Yeah.
Tommy's like offended, and this is it's just not. It's not cool.
And no one says anything.
Yeah.
That's what gets me is like everyone's like looking at each other like we didn't like that, but no one speaks up.
Yeah, Alex, Sonny, and Virgil all seem bothered, but they don't say a thing.
How the fuck do you not say anything?
I think it was just a different time. Like, honestly, I really do. It's just like, well, we're not like that, but we're not going to say something because it's not our place to say something.
How about Travis also blasting Golden Earrings, Radar Love? During, I wonder how Golden Earring feels about their music being played underneath racism. I just they have no say in it, I think. But
they were probably like, where's our check?
To me, that's arguably the most popular song in this whole movie.
Right.
And it was used in this moment, not one of the others. But anyway.
Right. Not in a more prominent moment. Yeah, this
under
moment
10
of racism.
seconds of racism.
Perfect. So anyway, we see that Tommy and Alex are going to be roomies. They enter the room, and I love that. Like Tommy's like, "Hey, I'm going to take this bed." And Alex like, "Yeah, man, go for it."
He flips on the light switch, and it turns on just this tiny little desk lamp that's on the dresser.
But it's overhead lighting.
No, there was no overhead lighting. I was just like, "Oh, this room's going to be dark as hell at night."
So, yeah, so Alex starts like making himself at home. Starts like,
what? What the fuck is that?
I think it was like Eric Roberts
A
probably
choice?
Yeah, he was probably like, this is what I do when he's
Dude.
like, when I'm in a new place making myself at home. I think it's supposed to make him relatable because normal people make mouth trumpet sounds.
No. Once upon a time, you and I were roommates.
We were.
And if you had pulled some shit like that on the day we were moving in, like strangers to each other, you would have got tossed out the window.
22 years ago, my friend.
I'd be like, who the fuck am I living with? Like mouth trumpets.
I don't know. Yeah, so
That was strange.
as he's giving this little oral concert, he pulls out a framed 8x10 family photo, and as he's setting it down on the nightstand, he goes, subtle, as if to say, ask me about my photo.
Such an attention-grabbing
Like,
move.
what the fuck?
It's a weird performance he's turning in. I'm fascinated.
I really wonder if it was like Tommy knew he was going to have his back turned, so he's like, "I'll give like a throat clearing, so you'll know when to say something about it."
No, I think it was. I think it was like his character was like, "I want you to look at my picture and ask me about it." It's fucking 8x10.
Yeah. So
Big.
Tommy obliges, looks over, and politely takes an interest in the picture. Alex says,
It's like it's him and a woman and a little baby.
"Yeah, it's like this is my son Walter. He's 5, and Tommy's like going on 50, huh, or something like that." And he's like, and Alex is like, how did you know? And Tommy shares that he works with kids.
Mm-hmm.
He then says that Alex's wife is very pretty, and Alex says she was.
She was.
And,
Fucking hell, heavy.
I feel like that was the whole point of getting the picture out.
He's like,
It's like, ask me about my dead. I hope he asked about my dead wife.
he's
so I can
like,
say
tells
she
He
was
tells her she
beautiful.
died when he was little. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and he's like, yeah, me too. And then just
Jesus.
sort of emotionally walks away.
Yeah, we're gonna read later on some big snippets of Roger Ebert's review, but it's like I feel like this is one of those moments that he was probably like, this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah,
And this
yeah,
is
me too.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking sort of passive aggressive play that he made there.
Yeah, so that's apparently enough of that conversation because Alex gets up to go brush his teeth.
Meanwhile, in the Abbott and Costello suite,
Yeah, like in a different room, Sonny wearing large headphones, sharing a room with assistant coach Don, who's clacking away on his computer at a desk full of gear and videotapes, and he's just like chain smoking in the room.
chain smoking Salem's like throughout, and that would fucking suck to be stuck in the room with a smoker if you're like trying to be a world class athlete
if
in
you're an
training.
athlete. Yeah, so Sonny's like,
Why is Don being made to share a room?
I was wondering
with,
the same
doesn't
thing.
he
It's
live
like-
there? Maybe not. Maybe this just maybe he
think that
lives
they're-
elsewhere during the year.
yeah, they're all, I think, in LA just for training and stuff. It's like summer camp.
But would he not have? They would give him his own
He
spot.
would have his own room.
He's not a
Unless
yeah.
Jennings just had it out for Don. You're going to
Maybe.
share a room with one of these fucks.
Maybe.
So anyway, Sonny, like looking out the window, says, "This is definitely not Detroit." Yeah, no shit. Like, what do you mean by that? In that it's a different city, state, part of the country, region?
It's part of this running joke about they can't hear each other. Like,
So Don rapid fire mumbles that I never been there before. I wonder what's like.
see, I think he had a cigarette in his mouth or a pen
Yeah,
or
but
something.
still, it doesn't matter. It's like-
I've never been to a part of the country before. Detroit, what's it like? What'd you say?
Sonny's like, he didn't catch the question, and so Don repeats himself, and then Sonny starts to describe Detroit. He's like, it's what you might call urban. It's kind of post-urban. This is great. This whole this is where I feel like their like script help was like, like those movies of Berlin after the war. Well, that's that's the view out my window, which is there are some parts of Detroit that's for real what it still looks like.
It sounds like the RoboCop Detroit.
It's come a long way. Yeah, the old city, but yeah. So as Don goes in search of an ashtray,
see, Don had a Texas license plate on his shelf with all this stuff, which made me think he must. At first, I was like, it would make more sense if they were in Texas right now, based on what comes next. But I think they are in California.
Yeah,
but
they're in
I think
LA.
Don is like a Texas boy.
Okay, well,
That's what I'm taking from his license
I'm fine
plate.
with that. So yeah,
and his drawl.
Don like go. I'm looking for an ashtray. So Sonny remarks on all of Don's gear. Don, who is half out the door, comes back in. What'd you say? Sonny
What's that you say?
Yeah. Sonny with his headphones on, like half on, didn't hear all that, and he goes, "What?"
What?
So there's
Huh?
a good gag going between these two. I actually do like
It's
this.
like some Who's on First type shit.
Yeah. So Don explains that he's got video of every major tournament for the past 5 years and statistics on every major fighter. Describes himself as something of a collector.
On a big ass stack of 3.5-inch floppies. I love that.
And Sonny's like, "Hey, I'm a collector too." He shows off his collection of opera CDs, which he describes as rare shit. The CDs are in one of those big ass, like nylon zip up cases that holds like 20 or 30 CDs. And I know I rocked one of those.
Oh, I keep one in the trunk of my car just filled with like my roadside assistance type shit. Yeah. But it's a case exactly like that.
I had it up until a couple of years ago, but then I also love that he's got his Discman hooked up to like the speakers that he's brought with him.
Yeah, dude. How rare can that shit be though if it's on disc? Could it still be rare? I don't know what that even means. It's been digitized.
They don't make a lot of those discs.
The pressings and then are out of print.
Yeah.
And this is rare shit.
That's like when I used to go to like McKay in Knoxville, I would like, stock up on opera CDs. I
thought you might be into this.
I loved this because I totally identify with it. So yeah, he hits play and plays him the tail end of La Donna Immobile from Rigoletto, and Don seems to like legitimately love it. He's like conducting along. He's like super happy about it.
I love this for them. Like they were legit, I think, into each other's interests.
Yeah, they were bonding. That's like two nice guys. This is what you'd hope. So definitely love that. So then in another room, Travis.
This is my favorite.
Travis is shadowboxing in front of a mirror, fully dressed in his cowboy getup.
Mm-hmm. He's ready to party, man.
While Virgil's meditating.
He's ready to plow.
Virgil, I've seen some fine-looking local snapper out there, and I think they could use some of this sweet Miami love muscle, if you know what I'm talking about.
Never heard the phrase love muscle before, but I think we all know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? Yeah, he grabs his crotch.
Where did he see the girls? At the tryouts?
I guess, yeah.
Or maybe just
on the bus over. I don't know. Like, I've got this friend. I will not call him acquaintance. A friend that I met through another friend that I don't think is listening to this, but it doesn't matter. We'll be out in a public place, and it doesn't matter how conventionally attractive or homely or whatever a human being is. He salivates over every woman. Like every woman is like completely bangable.
I love that for him.
And I feel like that's sort of Travis. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Virgil is meditating. He's deep in a trance, does not react. He's like, come on, Virgil. You can do that for 3 months. We're talking about young things.
I love that. We're talking about young things.
We're talking about inner and outer labia here.
Labia.
Don't like labia. That's gross. It makes it so much more no, you don't.
It's very clinical.
Yeah. We're talking about the bus leaving if you don't get up and get dressed.
You look like a pinata.
Yeah.
I love that. He did look like a pinata.
Yeah,
the pinata line kills me.
Yeah. He's like asking what he's going to do. He's going to sit around and play with your ball all night. He can't get his attention. Finally, he gives up, saying, fine, I'll go it alone. He makes like he's going to leave. And then Virgil, who's been meditating with his eyes open, like his eyes follow Travis across the room. He's like, Travis, inner and outer labia. Travis gets a big skeezy nod, like,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And Virgil hops too. It's time to get down.
I'm at a loss for what we're supposed to think about Travis. When we've seen him be racist and funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
But also like a dirtbag.
That's what I'm talking about. Is this is locker room talk? But still, there's something. It's like you don't want to. I don't know if it's because we love Chris Penn or what the deal is. Just the delivery of it. But anyway, cut to a country and or Western bar out there in Los Angeles somewhere.
Exactly. Like this feels like we're in the double deuce.
How did they make that choice? Was it Travis probably was like, take us to a country Western bar?
Or the Texas guy Don was like, I know the perfect spot.
I come here every year for the invitation.
Exactly.
I come here every year for the invitation.
But it's kind of like that the spot in 48 Hours, where that's San Francisco, and he finds like the country west. I mean, I'm sure there is a country bar somewhere,
but it's also
in Los Angeles.
Twins. While they're on the road.
But they're in Albuquerque or something.
So?
But you could find a country bar in New Mexico easier than Los Angeles.
When I think country bar, I always think of places like, I think Texas and Tennessee, but I guess people listen to country music all over the country.
And there's rednecks everywhere for sure, including Los Angeles.
Salt of the earth.
We love you.
Yeah. Don't stop listening to the show. We're not talking about you. We're talking about them. So anyway, people are dancing, having a grand time while Travis is surveying the joint, looking for both varieties of labia. Cut to a swarthy-looking redneck and his female companion standing in front of what looks like a painting of W.C. Fields, holding a pool cue at an
Minnesota
8-ball.
Fats
like,
or something?
What the hell? So the redneck is apparently playing Sonny, who wins that game and holds out his hand looking for his payout.
Sonny had the Van Damme like pants on.
He
the
did with pleats.
There was like
high,
wall to wall
high.
pleats.
I love it. Yeah, those were from some Gerbeau, Francois Gerbeau. Meanwhile, Travis has posted up next to the women's restroom. As a young woman heads to the bathroom, he asks, "You go number 1 or number 2?"
I fell out laughing when he said that.
I did too.
You can't say that, but it's hilarious.
It is hysterical.
I don't know what. I wonder what the real life reaction would be.
I think that if it's the right girl, they probably think it's hysterical.
But then if it's most women, it's probably like the woman in the movie. Drop dead.
Fuck you, asshole. Yeah, it's like, I didn't come to this bar to be like accosted by you, which is true. And it's gross that he's there asking that question next to the bathroom. It's it's not commendable, but it is in its way, because it's a movie and we can suspend our disbelief. We can detach ourselves from the manners. It is funny. So Travis looks proud of himself for this joke. So we go back to the pool table. Sonny does get paid. Meanwhile, at the bar, Virgil's sipping on some brown something in a glass, keeping to himself. Alex and Tommy are sitting beside him.
I got to say, Virgil has like a little John thing going on.
What do you mean? Yeah.
He had that vibe, like your vibe.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What do you mean?
Just like
do tell.
Calm and
oh yeah, totally.
And like
that's my deal at a bar too. It's just like
it's a compliment to the two of you.
I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I think that's I liked Virgil just because he was about his business.
Just a very calm demeanor and like serene.
Yeah, I love it. And this scene, for as crazy as it is, it's these moments where like these guys are just sitting at the bar dicking around with each other, where I'm like, this scene does it for me. It works. Like as much shit as other people talk about in some of the reviews.
There's some
that I
great
read.
laughs in this scene too,
but also just like the camaraderie amongst like Alex and Tommy sitting at the bar, like chatting, just talking and surveying the scene. So the hot woman that Travis was harassing in the bathroom walks up and tries to get Virgil's attention, and like he turns and accidentally spills his drink on her. The reaction from Alex and Tommy is also they're like mouthing,
they're
like wow,
speechless.
I
It's
cannot
like what?
believe it's unbelievable that this klutz did this. I love that Virgil asks, he's like, did it burn you?
And no, I think it was an Irish coffee.
Yeah, so she says no, and he complains like, bartender, the coffee wasn't hot enough. It's Irish coffee. I love that.
Then Alex is like, what did he say?
Like everyone's awkwardly quiet for a moment because they think he's a total space cadet, but then he like cracks a big smile, letting us know that this was a joke. So she's like, I thought you were serious. He's like, no, I'm Virgil. And she says her name's Carol Ann. So it's like this meet cute is kind of awesome.
And Alex is like, turns to
Carol Ann.
To Tommy. Carol Ann.
Of course her name's Carol Ann.
She was hella cute.
Yeah, she was very, very, very cute. So Virgil asked Carrie Ann to dance. and then Alex like, you burned her hand and she'd love to dance. I loved all this.
Alex's like commentary throughout is amazing to me. The bartender, did you know the bartender looked like fucking pissed? Like he couldn't believe that this guy was gonna like get to dance with Carol Ann. Like,
that's an interesting choice.
Like, he was just in the background sort of shaking his head and
maybe he'd been trying to make it with Carol Ann.
Probably.
So
that's how I read it.
I think that Eric Roberts is the most effective in these like group scenes as far as his acting goes, but we'll talk more about that later. So anyway, Virgil walks Carol Ann out to the dance floor. Travis is in the background looking amused by this, like, wow, okay, fine. We see Don at his booth, like clacking away still on his word processor.
What was that thing?
I think it is a word processor.
Can you see what you're typing at all? Or
I think there's like a tiny little screen.
Okay.
And there's still manufacturers. They call it a digital typewriter.
Okay.
But it's the same concept. It's basically just a modernized old word processor.
It stores it on some sort of a little.
Yeah, I think it probably stores it on a SD card or something, and then you upload it, or it's probably Bluetooth.
But he was sort of just like staring off into space and clacking away.
Yeah, he is typing and not looking at what he's typing. Sort of like he's got that T9 predict on. He's able to like anyway. He's a workaholic, Kevin. So he's digging the music. Then we see Travis lock eyes with the woman who's been over with the burly pool playing redneck from before. That is Adrienne Sachs, who fans of movies of this era would recognize as Tawny, one of the two women that Bob was going to get down with at his house in RoboCop right before Clarence comes. Bitches, leave. She was the one wearing like the gold sparkly top.
Okay.
The brunette.
she was definitely like Travis's speed.
Yeah.
In this movie.
In this scene, yeah, for sure.
And that she does this weird like sort of hair swipe, like clears her, like moves her hair above her ear. And I was like, just like, is that like code for come and get it?
Yeah, the ear is sexy. The neck is sexy.
Okay, she was like revealing her ear and neck.
She seems to be picking up what Travis is putting down, or at least looking to make several people's lives miserable. So
Travis loves the drama, man. He loves to stir shit.
Yeah, Travis reminds me of a more racist, more terrible Jock Peterson. Like he's that presence in your clubhouse.
Here to stir the pot.
Yeah, I'm here to stir. We got one of our best men
inside, stirring the pot.
So Travis makes his approach and asks if she wants to dance. She says, hell yeah, and he whisks her away without the burly redneck even noticing.
We should mention that the burly redneck is Kane Hodder.
Yes.
Best known for playing Jason in a handful of Friday the 13th movies, but he's like a stuntman. He's fucking probably been in 100 bad horror and action movies from the 80s and 90s.
And thousands of comic conventions, I'm sure.
But you almost never get to see his face, I think. Right. So this is great.
Yeah, this was great.
Awesome.
So then we see Sonny walk up to the bar, frustrated that he's been getting nowhere with the ladies despite his Italian charms.
That was a weird thing where he's like, nothing. He's like, nothing. And then Alex is mocking him. Nothing. Vodka.
Yeah.
I think Alex seems to be drunk for sure. And a little surly, maybe.
I think he's just like excited to be out.
You think?
Maybe. I think
he's
just
sort
sort
of
of
like
goofy,
at home with his mom and his kids.
Sort of a goofy guy. I think he's just a goofy guy.
Vodka.
Yeah, I like that though. It's just like, probably in the director was probably, yeah, go for it. That's fine. So Alex tells Sonny that Virgil is slaying and maybe he should become a Buddhist. So out on the dance floor, Carol Ann's whispering sweet nothings in Virgil's ear as they slow dance. What could they be talking about? And Alex, Buddha?
Buddha is one of my best laughs of the movie, too. Like you had said before, saying. I think Eric Roberts has a gift for comedy.
Yeah, he does.
He just wants to be more serious, I think, but he should lean into his strengths.
Absolutely. So
Buddha.
So out on the dance floor, Virgil's talking like psychology and philosophy, and Carol Ann's digging what he's saying. Back near the bar, a sexy woman in a tiny crop top walks past, and Sonny hops up to chase her like, sweet belly button, I'm going to give it a shot. These guys are killing me.
I love Sonny's swag, man.
Sweet belly button.
Sweet belly button. Let me give it a shot.
He's like a child at a candy store. So Travis is slow dancing with the redneck's girl. I love
Alex is like, Alex to Tommy is like, he's a dog.
He's a dog. He is totally. Yeah. Travis is slow dancing with the redneck's girl, hand on her ass, like kissing her neck.
Dude, he was like in her butthole, like up to his knuckle. It was like deep.
Deeper. So when this turn of events is brought to the attention of Bert the redneck, whose name we now learn from one of his lackeys, he becomes enraged.
You might want to look at the dance floor.
So as Travis is making his move deeper and deeper in the booty,
he's massaging her non-existent prostate.
Yeah, Alex steps away to make a collect call to home. Man, payphones, am I right? Blast from the past, anyway. Yep. But a collect call. Like I don't have the quarters to do this.
No.
So yeah, it's truly a blast from another time. So just then, Coach Couzo quietly enters the Little Nashville Club in Los Angeles, California.
Dude, I feel like he's taking his life in his hands walking into this place.
Well, I don't know. California is probably all right. So, but he hardly seems impressed with the team's choice of night spot.
But did he know some shit was going to pop off? Like, what's he doing there?
I think he's just assuming that it is. He's like, I need to be there because with this riffraff, especially Travis, there's going to be a fight.
It was like Zian in Kickboxers. Like,
why those guys want to jump me?
It's like you take him to a place that you know they're going to get into trouble.
Exactly.
Almost.
Take the Westerner to the local bar. So anyway, back on the dance floor, Travis is still going for it. Where do you live, Kelly? About a drink away. That's a nice neighborhood. And like we see his hand go all the way up her crack.
Travis and this woman were made for each other, I think. That was shit was getting real. That was awesome. Good for you, Travis.
Yeah. So suddenly Bert steps to Travis with the pool cue, like claps him on the hand, like tells him to back off. Kelly asks,
that's as far as you go, puke.
Yeah, puke. Kelly's like, oh, so you've just now noticed that I've been gone this whole time, and just starts like tongue down throat making out with Travis.
This woman is trouble, man. Like a fight is inevitable.
That's why
now.
she wants someone to get stabbed. If no one gets stabbed, then she hasn't done her job. I love that she's like, "Go away, Bert." And Travis is like, "Yeah, Bert, go away."
Yeah,
that
Bert, go
Bert,
away.
go away. So they go back to dancing,
Oh, my
and Bert
God.
grabs Travis by the collar and spins him around, throws a punch. Travis dodges, and poor Kelly catches the full force right in her face. And then he's like, "Shit, baby, I'm sorry."
That would destroy her.
She'd be dead. Like, it broken her nose a dozen different places. So Kelly is crying hysterically. Travis is like, "Well, that's a good move, Bert. Don't take any lip from her." Like,
Shit. He's such an instigator.
oh, man, yeah. So Sonny and Tommy see it's about to pop off, as does Coach Couzo. Travis turns to walk away, but another redneck breaks a pool cue over his head.
I don't understand why all the auxiliary rednecks are like ready to fight on behalf of Bert, who just punched a woman in the face.
It's a clan mentality. And by clan, I mean capital K clan mentality. So Don steps in and apologizes for Travis, saying he's pretty drunk, and we're fine, we're gonna leave, we're gonna get out of here, we get out of here. But other guys start to put hands on both Don and Travis. Tommy then steps in and tells the guys that his buddies have apologized and they should leave them alone now. And they're
He
like,
put some bass in his voice. Hey, hey, hey!
yeah, totally.
I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah, he works with kids all day, so he has that teacher voice, that PE teacher voice, because that is like every PE teacher you ever had. So anyway, I love the guy that's like, "Who the hell are you, shitbird?" I love things like shitbird, or if none of you have watched the show Reservation Dogs, shit ass is another great
Hey, shit ass.
pejorative.
Don't be a shit ass.
Yeah, lightning quick. Tommy kicks the cigarette dangling out of that guy's mouth. Just the cigarette.
That shit was incredible.
That stunt was fucking awesome. And the guy is like,
Kudos to the stunt man.
very impressive. And that's
Very impressive.
That is true. So Tommy backs out of the situation saying they don't want to fight. They just want to leave. But Bert's like, "I want him. I want his balls." So Travis shoots back, "Yeah, I thought you were missing a pair, asshole." So Bert breaks a beer bottle, and it's like, I guess it's going to be murder then. I guess that's the direction we're going, is that Bert's ready to go to jail.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, so Tommy steps in and lays Bert out with a kick to the face.
Though the music cranks up too.
Yeah.
It was a song, "The Devil Made Me Do It," another Golden Earring song. And I was just like,
Props to Golden Earring.
I didn't realize they had a second song.
So Sonny and Virgil jump into the fight. Meanwhile, Alex is still on the phone with Walter, oblivious to the mayhem.
Dude, I thought as soon as Tommy dropped Bert with that kick, everybody should have just chilled out.
Yeah, they should.
Like, holy shit, did you just see what that dude did?
Instead, it turned into a scene from Roadhouse.
It was Roadhouse.
Yeah. Alex is telling Walter, "No, you can't drive the car." Back out in the bar area, Team USA is kicking ass, as you'd expect, especially Tommy. Couzo looks on over his little snifter of cognac.
What was he drinking there? He had some brandy?
Probably Hennessy.
Okay.
Probably Hennessy in a little glass.
Was this like a team building exercise for him?
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm saying. He expected the mayhem. At least as far as the formula of this movie is concerned, that's how it had to go down.
Of course.
So now more rowdy rednecks are crawling out of the woodwork, but they're getting knocked back just as quickly as they're arriving from the mayhem.
Alex is like stays locked in on his phone call. Like,
Yeah.
let me talk to grandma. Bodies are piling up. Dude, Virgil was fighting dirty. Like, he busted a pool cue over dude's head. I think he stomped on another guy's
Well, then
balls.
he like slung the Tiffany like pool lamp into the dude's face. I think that's what you call being attuned to your surroundings.
Sure.
It's like know your surroundings. So yeah, from the mayhem, a guy comes like crashing into the phone area, and Alex like says goodbye and hangs up. He steps out into the bar to see Sonny like laying a dude out. Tommy, we see back body drop a guy onto the pinball machine, like causes like an electrical fire. Like sparks flying everywhere. Alex not wanting to miss out. Just like, I love that he's like walking with a purpose
he
down the thing.
sucker
He's like,
punched
yeah.
this dude who I don't even think was like looking to fight
I
anybody.
think that dude was probably trying to like
Leave.
go escape. Yeah. He like
The
clotheslines
shit-
him.
No, it seemed like the whole thing seemed like it was escalating quickly in there.
Yeah.
Like somebody was going to get killed
Team
soon.
USA has a bloodlust. So yeah, then Sonny runs a dude's head into a post. This is just like Detroit. I guess. Yes. Sure.
Don is sort of like softly tries to punch a guy in the chest or something.
Yeah, one of the rednecks punches Travis, who at that moment finally seems to recover from the blow to the head. He scoops that dude up and drops him through a table. Alex,
if Dalton had stepped out, you would not have been surprised.
Yeah,
like
you know,
it would just seem like a scene from Roadhouse.
Yeah, exactly. Then Alex kicks the dude through the huge front plate glass window and destroys.
That was a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, and Jennings is going to get the bill for it. So yeah, Sonny lays out one last guy who crashes into the bar right next to Couzo, who announces loudly that is quite enough and it's time for the team to go.
Right? Who's on the hook for all this damage? They
Jennings.
just walk out.
Jennings. Or no one. They just leave.
Maybe no one. The insurance.
They all paid cash, and where are you going to come find us?
You got insurance, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So he has to basically drag Travis, who's putting the boots to Bert.
It was like some Joe Pesci, Goodfellas shit.
Yeah.
He was having to get dragged away. He couldn't get enough boots in.
So Alex throws his arm around Tommy, telling him that at least one of those moves was really good. But Tommy seems forlorn, saying, I didn't want to fight. All I wanted was a beer, but shit happens. Is what Alex said to him. So
Ebert made a great point about this scene in particular, where he just said there are zero repercussions, right? It's never mentioned again that this happened.
Right.
But if the USA karate team had been involved in a barroom brawl, with dozens of people injured, that would have been in the news.
Yeah, if they said USA Gymnastics, and maybe it's not as...
Gymnastics?
I'm saying if USA Gymnastics team, the men's gymnastic team, destroyed a bar and beat the fuck out of some locals in
you
wherever.
Would hear about it.
Yeah. It'd be oh, fuck. And they would have been they would have been barred from competition, probably.
Exactly. This would have been national type headlines.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not in this movie, my friend.
No, we just move on.
And with that, we close this second chapter and our exciting rundown of Best of the Best.
Whew.
What do you guys think?
That was action-packed.
It was. It really was. I'm heated.
I can't wait to hear what's going to happen next.
What?
I feel like there might actually be some...
Are we going to progress the plot anymore?
Yeah, still, nothing has changed from the end of the first little episode.
Literally, the recap for this next one will be, in episode 2, there was a bar fight.
They got into a barroom brawl.
They all met each other at summer camp, and then there was a fight.
Yes.
And if you hear us say that verbatim in the next episode, don't be mad. We warned you. You were warned. Anyway, we'll be back.
We'll be back.